Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by. PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and today I'm showing you rock and roll pioneers Bill Haley and his Comets in truly the calm before the storm. I mean, here it is, the spring of 1955, and they're at this point just another little group with this newfangled rock and roll sound, whose last three charting singles didn't even make the national top 10. But at this point, boy, are they sitting on the launching pad. Himmelreichsgrove, up there in the changeable venue information, and near Walmelsdorf, Pennsylvania, and the date of this show was Sunday, May 22. So then you get to the permanent portion of this tour blank, the color portion, and as you can see it does say, appearing in person, and then on Decca Records, and get their new hits. And boy, would they have a new hit soon. Whoa. Bill Haley and his Comets. Remember, it was never the Comets, always Bill Haley and his Comets. And they're called here the Shake, Rattle, and Roll Boys. Not that song title from '54, their biggest hit, is not listed as a song, just as like a group slogan, interestingly enough. And below that, you do have three song titles given: Dim Dim the Lights, Mambo Rock, and Happy Baby. So wait a minute, man, where's Rock Around the Clock? Come on, that's a monster record and it was just out. The poster's, it's conspicuous in its absence, to say the least. Well, that song, unfortunately, was just a few weeks too new to make it onto this poster. Not counting the '54 B-side, the A-side smash of Rock Around the Clock had entered Billboard's singles chart just 8 days before this show. And the poster was probably designed in March and printed in April, so therefore Rock Around the Clock was just not an entity yet. But it would soon enter the posters, as you'll see in a second. So what you have instead is their only top 10 hit, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, getting some big letters there, but still referred to indirectly, isn't it? They're called the Shake, Rattle, and Roll Boys, but it's not one of the three song titles down below. Dim Dim the Lights, though, that was a follow-up in '54 to Shake, Rattle, and Roll, and that hit number 11. And its B-side was Happy Baby, so that's the third song on there in that line of songs. And in between those two, you do have Mambo Rock, a much more recent single for the Comets, which was a top 20 hit just a few weeks ago. And to just get the details out of the way, though, the business stuff down at the bottom of the yellow, you do have booking direction, Jolly Joyce Agency in New York City and Philly. Boy, would they have their hands full soon. And then the bottom white margin in the lower right, interesting, it does say, actually that's the poster printing's credit, Posters Inc. on Cherry Street in Philadelphia. And then what is interesting and odd is in the lower left, in fact I would call this unprecedented, not the design number 735, but the 14 by 22 inches given. That is weird, and I've never ever seen that in thousands or tens of thousands of vintage concert posters. It's, this size was the industry standard from the 1930s until now, the 21st century, when I'm doing this video. And yet this run of Bill Haley and his Comets concert posters is the only set, tour blank, if you will, that I've ever seen with the dimensions given in the margin. I mean, it kind of makes it feel like a merchandising poster, doesn't it? Something you'd buy at Woolworth's or wherever you buy them today. But no, every single Bill Haley and his Comets concert poster I'm showing you today was absolutely, definitely printed before the shows to sell tickets. It's just a real anomaly by Posters Inc. In Philadelphia. Don't know why. Even though I don't want to go on too long, because granted it is marginal information, but still a lot of people probably think they have a store-bought poster when in fact it's original advertising piece. So, from the spring of 1955, let's go to midsummer of 1955, and yeah, this is Rock Around the Clock time, and from this point out I'm going to use photographic blow-ups of pictures from my photo albums, so they're a little fuzzy, but they get the job done and show you what's going on. And the first thing I wanted to show you is what they did with the picture in the middle of Haley and his Comets. As you can see, they expanded it nicely to fill the white circle and give the poster a better feel. So yes, at this point, Rock Around the Clock was indeed the #1 record in the country, and in fact, at the very top of the poster, the local promoter really wanted to take advantage of that, and as you can see in red letters across the top there, America's #1 recording stars. But that's part of just that one gig's date. That white area was blank, so it's not part of the main traveling part of the poster. Then you've got Ocean Beach, New London in Connecticut, and Sunday, August 14th in nice catchy red lettering. Love that. And down below, yes indeed, you can bet your bottom dollar, Rock Around the Clock is definitely part now of the song titles given as part of the tour blank, and on there, of course, it would remain. And it's there along with Dim Dim the Lights and Shake, Rattle, and Roll, which is nice to see as a song title as opposed to just part of their slogan. It's good to get in there as a regular song title as well. Okay, we go now from the summer to the fall of 1955 and Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to the Roller Gardens in Latrobe, and that was a Pittsburgh suburb. And Thursday, November 3rd. Down below, now 6 song titles. Yeah, the 4 from the previous poster, and then a new line stripped across the top with 2 songs, the follow-up single, naturally, to Rock Around the Clock. Razzle Dazzle, backed with 2 hound dogs. Now this, red, I guess black and yellow tour blank you'd call it, from 1955 by Posters Inc. was not the only one that Haley and the Comets and his Comets used that year in 1955. This one from Hatch Showprint also dates from 1955, the red, white, and blue look, and as you can see the blank venue box is down below. I have blogged this one separately, by the way, as part of a Bill Haley video blog. But this one to me just seems decidedly low budget compared to the Posters Inc. one I've been showing you. Same photograph in the middle, but I'm just not crazy about their treatment of the song titles by leaving out words out of Rock Around the Clock and Shake, Rattle, and Roll. I just think it's kind of tacky, that's all. But this is the template that Haley and his management perhaps and booking agency decided to use going forward. I haven't seen the Hatch from any other year. Interestingly, I've seen this one from 57 and 58, which I'll show you in a moment, but nothing from 1956 using this template. And I'm guessing that's because in 56, Haley partook in several package tours that year. Here, for example, is one from the spring of 1956, and in fact the tour was even called the biggest rock and roll show of 56, and there's Bill Haley and his Comets headlining this package tour. And even from the fall of 1956, here you have another one. I've blogged both of these posters before, by the way, and this one says the biggest in-person show of 56. And there's Bill Haley and his Comets, and these posters have other acts on them, like Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, and the Platters, and even Chuck Berry in this case. So I think that's what Haley was busy doing in 56, so that tour blank doesn't, I don't believe it exists from 56. So in 1957, we're back to the Posters Inc. tour blank here, but what a dramatic change in the middle. Gone are Haley and his Comets, and there is just Bill Haley's face. But I give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that was an ego move on Haley's part. I'm pretty sure it's because the Comets were pretty much a revolving door in the mid to late 50s, and so why always have an out-of-date photo? Why not just have a photo of the star, and then of course whoever's with him is a Comet, at least for that night. And you got the Old Orchard Palace in Old Orchard Beach, Maine for this one in the spring of 1957. And down below, 6 songs have now grown to 7. But not just add-ons. You've got some switch-outs by now and stuff like that. It gets a little tough for Haley because he would never again be in the top 20 in America. But you see that line of 3 songs across the yellow portion? Those are all 3 new. You've got Rip It Up from the previous year, which didn't do that well for Haley except in the UK. Little Richard did the song much better with it. And then you've got its B-side, Teenager's Mother, all the way over to the right side of that line. And in the middle between them you've got the misspelled, See You Later, Alligator, his last ever top 10 hit from 56. And then the final poster in this run to show you today is from Summertime 1958, Sleepy Hollow Ranch in Pennsburg, Pennsylvania. And there's nothing really else to show you because everything's the same from the last poster, including all of the 7 song titles down below. So there you have it. If you know of any other examples, even just an image or whatnot from this series that are slightly different, especially later than this one or earlier than the first one I showed you from May of 55, please let me know. I'd love to know about it as a poster documentarian. Thanks a lot for dropping by. Great seeing you today. Appreciate your time and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.